Hello. What's up, y'all? I couldn't stay away from the cool people here, so we're back. You know how it goes. I was like, you know what, D? The D squad is too cool for school. So let's get back up in it. DBZ Gretz on first. I don't actually remember what we were doing. Oh, we just beat Rena. Okay. Hey, DBZ Mike, what's up? How is you? Duelist, I see you there. Hiding out. You know, DBZ, sometimes the weekends get super busy too. It's good to have, it's good to be able to fit some Elden Ring and gaming into an evening. So if we came here later, we don't get invaded? What? Usually this Volcano Manor person would invade us here, but I guess since we came here much later in the game, he said F it. Maybe it's because we're on the Volcano Manor quest line? I don't know. That's freaking interesting. Where the heck is this guy's red summon sign? Old Knight Istvan. A man after my own heart. Good night. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's immune to boulders. He's got a gravity spell of his own. He's also extremely big. We need to get some actual damaging spells at some point. Brain Zoo. Brain Zoo, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you for being here. You love this game? Me too. It's been a ride covering... Excuse me. It's been a true ride covering this game. Thanks so much for the sub, by the way. Yo, this guy's gonna run me out of magic. Cameron, how you doing tonight? You know, I probably shouldn't have gone physical damage on him, but... Let's try this thing. Are you kidding me? That's... The thing took like all my mana and did nothing. Oh, you got it. Oh my god, I'm out of mana. Time for luck. I'm looking forward to seeing Batman eventually. I'm waiting for it to come to HBO Max. Yes, Crater, I too have seen the memes that Elden Ring takes place in Ohio. How funny. I mean, I guess Caled is kind of like Ohio, right? And I hope you've been well, too. Brian, haven't seen you around lately. I thought it was a pretty good joke. What up? I'm full of them. Come for the food, stay for the humor. That's what they say about twitchtv.dancesnacks. We got so much to get done. What do we gotta do? Yeah, believe me, I know, Brian. I went for the first time like the week ago. The last one. I try to make it since they're only once a month now. It is kind of like Ohio, yeah. Ohio, the Lake of Rot. We're not quite there yet on this run. Yo, I got this Comet Shard that I spent 15k on that took all my mana and did nothing, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Crater, I mean, hey, I've posted some leveling guides. If that's your thing. But you know, happening upon very big things, Crater, is like just part of the loop in this game, right? And that's what really adds to the epicness of the experience. I think this tree might be too big for us because we have underleveled minions, but you know, we can try it. I got my thing in my wrong hand. That's cool. So I can't use it on the horsey. That's going to be a problem. I know you can use magic on the horse, Prime. I know. We did it earlier to take out the god skin. What's up, Prime? Caled is great. You'll get used to it. And that was just a Dark Souls moment. All right, I'm glad that we have him. It showcases our mortality. We had to switch to the hatchet. Honestly, we don't even really carry the hatchet anymore. We had to switch to it because we needed a melee attack in a certain counter. I don't know, Crunchy. On this playthrough, we're trying to master gravity itself. It's kind of the whole thing about being an astronomer, astrologer, whatever the hell this class is. What is my helm? It's an imp helmet. It's a rare drop from an imp. Crossing fingers in this... Oh, you gotta cross your fingers harder. I've heard a good number of things can be reduced to crossing fingers correctly. See, this guy crossed his fingers. He got lucky and stomped all my minions. Now they're getting infected with the Scarlet Rot. Okay, do you think I really wanted to go right into him there? Come on. I'm getting beaten by the terrain, not by the boss. They really are, Brain. I think they're like a couple espresso shots in there. This is the Gandalf fantasy right here. Okay. I deserve that for making that joke. The army will be better. You know, we need to enhance it. It's actually kind of weak right now. But we also have bigger designs in place for the eventuality of the army of my minions. Why didn't I get the Stake of Marika there? Yeah, it shredded its big damage, but I was just, you know, you get lazy when you're Gandalf and you can just show up on the third day and throw rocks at things. I deserve everything that occurred there. Wait, did I lose my souls? Oh my god, I think I did. Did I not pick him up? I don't think I picked him up. Oh no. I didn't. Sweet. Sweet! This trip has been not worth it whatsoever. Put all these freaking barrels around. Oh my god. These other enemies in the area, just like, come on. This guy gets so many favors from the environment, it's ridiculous. I don't know, 10,000, Jay? It is very similar to the lightning bolt meme, yeah. Basically, I lost what I got back from him. Yo, what up, Croc? Yeah, you know, hey, maybe down here there's something to upgrade our Neanderthal army. But we also have made progress on other fronts. No, that was fun. Now let's try this comet shard again. Okay, it does barely anything. It does very little than the pebble. What in God's name? What is with this spell skill? You know, some of these spells leave me really confused. I'm not a secret Care Bears fan. I actually was a big Care Bears fan back in the day. As was most of my generation. I think it taught me a very strong moral code, Dr. Mono. Okay, so rule number 1 is always check under the elevators. Look at that. Rule number 1 is already proven correct. So we probably have to go down there. But since we're actually down here for flowers, we should take a look around first. Hey Dan, what kind of builds have we done so far? So, first play through the game, on review, I did a Unga Bunga strength build with an Ultra Greatsword. Second time around, we did a Dex Flail build that turned into a Hoarfrost build, which was extremely overpowered. If you're struggling with the game, I highly recommend that build. This is our third playthrough, and it is a magic build. Int magic. Yeah, Leaf, you know, I wasn't going to, but a lot of people said they wanted to see more. I know. I'm a little bit shocked myself. You know, no hit Malekith, I can see. Sure. I'll be really interested to see the no-hit Melania run. We came down here for the flowers. Unfortunately, it looks like this is one tier lower than what we were looking for in terms of flower power. And this room looks like the biggest trap I have ever seen in the Souls game ever. Luckily there's like slow bappers, so we can probably just... That's what we were looking for. No, yep, that's a grave 5, baby. That's money. DW Dan Wiley, the helmet is actually from an imp. You can get it off any of these imps in these caves, in these catacombs. You didn't miss it. You gotta go farm imps if you want it. Magic is boring. Dr. Mono, hey, you're talking to me here. Who are you talking to? I don't like playing Magic any more than anybody else, you know. I don't like Magic, alright? I think it's not a playstyle that I'm interested in. But... Wait, I got Scarlet Rotted somehow when I wasn't looking. Wow, wow, wow. I guess we're dead. Hopefully there's a Stake of Marika in here. What was I saying? Yeah, you know, hey, I love, I'm always a melee player through and through. People have been daring me for years to do a magic run, so here we are. So you can get... You can get this imp helmet off any of the imps in any of the catacombs. We are dead, but hopefully going into the boss room will trigger a Stake of Marika and we can just pop back in. If we're lucky. Like, we're dead on board here. The Scarlet Rot was really hurting us. Is this a new Harry Potter game? No, but rumors say that will be out this year. I mean, that would be a quick timeline from summer announced to release. Well, you know, we haven't really seen much of that game at all. So, wait. I said Stake of Marika! Why am I back at the start? Yeah, only like one trailer, exactly. So I assume the summer, if that is coming, the rot is from being in the catacomb, yeah, from stepping in the poop in the catacomb, specifically. See all this crap down here? That's Scarlet Rot. And it builds up rather quickly. And I thought we could cheese it off with a Stake of Marika, but for some reason it didn't let me come back to Marika. But whatever, we don't have it on us now. Crunchy, obviously, yeah, that there's a whole thing of games, and everybody's. I guarantee you, internally at all the studios right now, all the talk is about timing. You know, everyone wants to be part of the E3 train. No one wants to get left out of that.
And
Obviously, there will be no E3.
I hesitated.
But the timing will stay the same. You know what I mean? So everyone's going to be talking about when to announce and, you know, potential delays and all that fun stuff is hot topics right now. Dr. Mono, I'd like to appreciate you for that gift sub. Really appreciate that. Thank you. But expect you know, I think the industry enjoys the cadence of having everything announced and shown in early June. Just because they're so used to it after so many years, regardless of whether there's an E3 event or not, which of course there won't be. Mariana, how you doing? Sling is just not all it's cracked up to be. So we gotta use the pebble. Choose revival location. Stake of Marika. You're having great fun on Lost Ark? Excellent. That is good to hear. What do you what item level are you now? Okay, so this Stake of Marika doesn't work, which is awesome. First time I've seen that. I also play Berserker. I did, Croc, I did. Look at that. Game's broke, right? How can we give it a 10 out of 10 now? For those of you who don't know, that's sarcasm. I mean, these bosses, these particular bosses are meant to be very unnerving. Some people do think that, Crunchy. Some people do think that. And those are the people you hear from the most. Demi-humans are freaking useless. They need an upgrade bad. I know, Crunchy. I mean, basically, we are getting ready for Mimic time. That is, we're basically we use the Demi Fiends until we get the Mimic, basically. And yes, I do want to see Batman very badly. As for the pebbles, I guarantee we're going to find better spells eventually. We just have had some trouble with that. Game doesn't even a quest log. I know, I hear it's a really big problem. They should also put like a ton of like indicators on the map where everything I should go, right? I want quest markers. You should put little exclamation points and question marks over everybody's head, right? So I can't mess anything up. And it's just like, you're so close. You're so close to getting why people want to play this game. But not quite. What's next?
You've met, then owing to I think you've earned the power of the I said I might be following all those who live their merits, and so it is.
Elden Ring needs more crate puzzles with tons of hints. I mean, I could add those. I don't think it does, Prime. I don't think other devs will do things like this. They just won't. That's kind of been From's like thing forever, right? They do things differently. And whether or not you think that's good, that's certainly up to you. But that is how they got on the map in the first place. You know, obviously they were creating games for many years before Demon's Souls, but it is extremely disingenuous to say that it was not a factor for Demon's Souls' success. Was that it was, whether it was meant to be or not, it was a very against the grain kind of game at the time. They do not do things, and I don't think other people are going to try to do things the way they do things. Straight up. I could be wrong. I don't know. You know, I don't know for sure, but that's just how I feel. I don't know that people are going to try to copy. We've only had, there's been plenty of, like, you know, Souls-likes, and the ones that have been successful, like Neo, have done their own bit on it. Like, I don't think you could take a squeaky clean open world formula and attach it to this and have it work. I could be wrong. Yeah, Prime, and I agree. Somebody will try to replicate it, absolutely. But the problem is they're going to look at about what they can improve and not realize what certain aspects of this game add to it. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Returnal, again, you've probably heard me say plenty of amazing things about Returnal. Big Returnal fan here. Going little by little? Yeah, I mean, I'm, obviously I haven't had a whole lot of time for Lost Ark recently, but I am, what, item level like 560, I think, on my Berserker. Approaching tier 2 someday. Prime, to put it plainly, the issue comes when a team gets tasked with creating a game like this. Right? Somebody says, I want that. And then they apply different guiding principles to the creation. And everybody wonders why it doesn't turn out right. That's all I'm saying. By the way, I think there are many extremely accomplished and talented teams that could tackle a project like this. Under the right circumstances. My name came up. My name comes up a lot, does it? We didn't hate it, Dr. Mana. We were ambushed with it. That was a Hanson special. Hanson loved to do that. It was like going on the Gong Show. Sometimes on the podcast. I would not have cared at all, honestly. As I recall, and I might be wrong, I think some other participants had more issue with it than I did. But yeah, it was a weird thing, which we were all very used to, honestly. I wasn't malding. You hope it gives devs the confidence to make harder choices. Sure. I think most people who are brave enough to take chances with stuff like this are outside of AAA. Not because they're not because of any lack of bravery, but because of reality. And by the way, I was not malding or molting or anything of the sort. Also, I really like crunch berries. And yeah, sadly, Purple Rocks is still what we have available. We're gonna get more than Purple Rocks soon. Do I consider FromSoft AAA? I mean, sure. At this point, I mean, yes. Why not? If not before, definitely after this game. But I don't know what established. There's all kinds of different definitions, right? I don't know what we're quantifying AAA as. There's more than one way to do it. Not all indies are indies. Not all AAAs are AAAs. Not all AAs are AAs. Quantifying a studio letter grade is as difficult as quantifying a genre these days. I'm really glad that, listen, From Software deserves every bit of attention for this game. This is one of the best, this is one of the biggest and boldest and frankly incredible achievements I have ever this is the best game I've ever played. I don't even think 8-year-old D playing Zelda had the sense of adventure you get when you play this game. Duelist, I agree with you. I agree with you 100 billion%. But you know, people are obsessed with it. I guess it goes back to that human thing of categorizing everything. Barry, how you doing? Sixth highest played game in Steam history? That actually does surprise me a little bit. I mean, not really. How does it compare to other single-player? I mean, I guess technically it's not a completely single-player game, but come on. It shouldn't be up against Dotas and Counter-Strikes in terms of concurrence. Cyberpunk is more? Sure, I get that. You know, look out, I got pebbles. You don't want to mess with this. I got a whole bag of pebbles here. Well, yeah, it'll fall off, and I can't wait for the eventual fall off as people start to beat it and try different builds and play less, you know. And people are gonna be like, look at the fall off, and it's like, okay, it's not World of Warcraft, all right. Whatever. Yeah, the old dead game. Look at overhyped, right? Overhyped. No one's playing it anymore. I can see it now. It will happen. That's what people will say. Like, mark it down. They'll do it every time without refrain. You can predict these things like setting a watch. Surely. Glintstone. Now listen, you know what? My inbox has quieted down a little bit. I think most of the haters have just started playing the game. and that's where they're at right now. Question for Dan. That's me, Jack. What's up? I mean, yeah, this game has that one of those on top of being like amazingly excellent, right? It also has that rare quality where you cannot put it down, right? You try to go to sleep, you wake up, you play it again for a couple more hours. Like it is intensely captivating. I don't think Elden Ring was overhyped, no. Sure, some people will disagree with that. And that's okay too, but I don't think it was, no. Well, Leaf, I got the magic bow and arrow from the manor. We were very unimpressed with that. Get off me. Where are they, Dr. M? Indeed. the Moonveil, that's really good. I don't need that in this run, but man, it's good. Yeah, it's really good. That's a really good Adjuvant sword, yeah. This is a magic run though, so yeah, we're not using that. We got big int, and not much else right now. We need some levels. We killed that tree. No tree there. We killed that tree. I don't know that we killed this tree, but I really don't want to go hunt that tree down. Oh yeah, there's a good old mine down there. Didn't we skip? We skipped the Perfumer's Catacombs too, didn't we? Yeah, we did. You got a massive headache. Uh-oh. The stream soothes the brain. That's good. Brain soothing, good. Wait. Okay. Mimic. We got to do Radon for Mimic. We don't have the HP yet. All right. Let's get a level and some grass, maybe. No, maybe we could try Radon, right? He just has to not hit us. Actually, we don't have any Kaled on. Okay, we can do some Kaled. Den tree. Yeah, you know, Leaf, there are multiple trees in this game. I don't know if you know that. And I'm sorry to hear about the headache, Koshi. May you feel better soon. I bet. Rocksling wrecks a lot of things. But Radon will one-hit us for sure. And we do have some business I want to take care in the zone before moving on. But then we'll... Yeah, then we'll probably Radon and then get Mimic, which should be amazing with this build, right? Okay. Why am I in poop? I feel like I got two options, Rocksling and Pebble. I'm hoping that does change. I think it will. We just need to keep jacking up that int. And honestly, I am really looking forward to the playthrough where we can use these churches. Look at this. Dragon Maw. Dragon Claw, Dragon Ice, Dragon Fire. Rotten Breath. Oh man. Ooh, give me some of this. Next playthrough, we're doing Faith. Faith Arcane. I mean, Moonveil destroys everything. Moonveil is just really good. I think it might even be better than Hoarfrost. Hoarfrost Stomp. I know how insane that sounds. You can examine those? Examine what? What are we examining, Leaf? You can examine items in this game? Yes, you can. And you should. What the hell just hit me? Oh my god, how did I aggro one of these things? Sweet mother. Oh yeah, at the dragon churches you can buy the dragon skills. If you're Faith Arcane, you can use them. Very powerful, or very exciting, and I can't wait to try them. That's our next build is Faith, right? But we have a ways to go. We're still on the magic run here, folks. Those were comet shards. They sucked really bad. I paid 12k for that spell.
I'd hoped to ask a favor when one
Old
of your
man
guild
Gowrie,
came
very
across,
important to talk to this guy
strapping
when you're here.
untarnished, able to cross the sky. Don't fret. I'll provide. Should you accept, I will teach you the secret of Celia. I need her name resting at the rock when the earth, but Millicent for this. Seek the needle.
What are we doing, Croc? It does. This game is beyond clever, right? And it doesn't. It's not clever in a, hey, let's get some more engagement by doing things this way, right? Everything here is built to facilitate, you know, the game experience from the ground up. This town is the town of roof jumps, which we'll be doing here in a moment. I'm glad there's a steak of Marika around here. Somewhere. I think there might even be a new spell for us somewhere in one of these locked areas. This town is a pain, but it's a puzzle, right? We heart puzzle. Wait, what are we talking about now? What do you need help with, Leaf? The FF6 playthrough is not done, Big Boss. You are not wrong. The Final Fantasy VI playthrough has not been completed and is still active. I mean, it is actually coincidence, Duelist, but I think everyone gravitates toward a certain playstyle even when they do try out other ones, right? But no, it was not a conscious decision to go into rocksmithery. Leaf, she will continue along her journey. She is. So I don't know how much more you want me to tell you, Leafy. The Ancestor boss fight was sick. Yeah, isn't it great? Love the soundtrack during that fight. Leaf, she's searching for millennia. Perhaps you should as well. And Duelist, it is pure coincidence that we ended up using Lord's Rocks. Actually, perhaps this is the evolution of the Neanderthal, right? Instead of hitting opponents with a rock, we throw them now. I mean, honestly, I'm really glad we're doing this playthrough. I can tell you that I don't know that the mage playstyle resonates with me nearly as much as traditional strength build. I just love I just love strength, you know, two-handed strength builds. Alright, we broke the seals. We win. You're doing strength and you miss having magic? See, I'm the opposite. Like, this playstyle I definitely think I get. Okay, it's working fine. Night Comet. Ooh. Okay, we like... Maybe, I don't know. The other comet spells I've had sucked. It's a very different way to play M321. I definitely... It's very different. Like, I'm definitely way squishier. But I also never have to be in harm's way. And I have to play a little differently to facilitate that. I'm still way too close and way too hot in the action, I think, a lot of the time. I should be, like, preemptively dodging rather than trying to dodge roll through things like I would in a standard Dan build. Alright, let's get the needle first, I guess, since we're here. We did kill Rena, yes, Prime. This guy's physical resistant. See, this just ain't for me, you know? I like to be up in that dude's face with my big sword and club up in his grill. That is where I am at home in the battlefield. Tito, what's up, yo? See, that was on me, obviously, but... You know, Pretendus, when they say this game is pretty good, they've been telling me that. I don't know if I believe them, okay? I don't know if I believe the media, so we're trying it out for ourselves. I'm getting real tired of the pebble. Well, I mean, Metacritic definitely, they nailed it then, didn't they? Thanks, Croc. We should check out this new spell we got, this Night Meteor. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have a new spell that's actually decent. Fires a semi-invisible magic comet. Does that even matter? I mean, maybe for PvP. I just got it. It's semi-invisible. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. How you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic evening. We are continuing our magic playthrough here. Yeah, I mean, that's... You wouldn't really want an invisible comet outside of PvP. There's really no reason for it to exist otherwise, right? But we can try it. You know, maybe M321. We'll have to experiment. Wow, it's like a glintstone pebble, but it takes 1,000 mana. That is... Ooh, boy, that's not good. I mean, maybe... I don't know. We'll find stuff. We just need to keep jacking up that int. We also need some int buffing gear. It's got to be a good cloth set we can farm somewhere. Dan Wiz the man, I can certainly tell you what level I am. Just a second. We are level 51.
Oh, you as promised. I go on. Now let. Well, the work of a true.
Now remember, for you, those of you doing this quest, he will have to come fix it. So
Can you as well make?
he needs time with it. So we'll go unlock the next checkpoint and then come back. Since we will have to go to this place after getting the needle completed anyway. Hey, Erlen, what's up? You're for real? I am for real? I know that song. You're level 45 and just beat Godric. We're intentionally not killing Godric. I could go and mess him up anytime I wanted to, but we're just leaving him there. I want to make an example out of him. I was tempted to do it for Margit too, just to show people that they never actually need to kill these bosses that give them such a hard time. So Dan, if you've just killed Godric, I mean, obviously, most folks would say to go to Liurnia next, the water area north of Stormvale, but you can actually, you have the freedom. One of the reasons I love this game so much is you can actually sequence break very, very far right now if you'd like. I've done some research and some experimenting on these last few runs. And you can pretty much go, within reason, to the vast majority of the game without ever killing a single boss, single main boss. Not all, but an extreme amount. We found like 3 different ways to get to Atlas Plateau early. Plenty of ways to go to Kayla. You can just walk there. And there are ways to... God, it's just... You can go all the way up to Mount Gelmir if you want. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculously awesome. It really is, you know. On the first playthrough, I like everybody else, you know, I kind of just... probed the outlines of my environment in an organic fashion. Now that I'm on the 3rd playthrough, we're really just trying to... This game is so good, like, for repeat playthroughs, because you can just go... you know, you know where the items are where you want, you can target them immediately, right? And just start playing how you want to play it right away. The other way to play, like the first playthrough, the organic playthrough, is its own really special experience, right? But the experiences after that also are pretty wild because of what you can do. And thank you for the follow, Dan. Let's do the stream raid.
And
Then let's move on. We gotta go, now that we found the... This is the church with the injured girl that we need the needle to cure from the Scarlet Rot. And we will go be taking care of that right after we do the stream raid. We have to go back to Gowrie. And yeah, DBZ Mike, as always, D-Squad, best squad. I appreciate that gift sub immensely. DBZ Mike, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Yeah, you know, I'm not really sure what we're going to do next here. We need to get to, like, an absurd amount of intellect to use half the spells that we found. And unfortunately, we have other stats we've been neglecting, so we're going to need some levels. Obviously, another really smart thing this game does is... Leveling is basically like an organic thing, right? If you're exploring, you're going to be leveling. All right. Yeah, with 20 Vit, I don't think we can survive a single hit from Radon. We need some int boosting armor is what we need. There's got to be a set out there like that.
Millicent rests at the church atop tended to a wretched that I would show. Well, I'm the one that a mere babe in the swamp of Aeonia.
The golden halberd from the tree sentinel. Yeah, it's a good weapon, Dan. You could definitely you can do the game with any weapon as long as you keep it upgraded, right?
Now she's
there are, of course, some really broke weapon arts that we found. More than one. There's a bunch of them.
If you are wise, my flesh writhes with scarlet rot. You ask that I stab myself with the needle to quell the scarlet rot, but how? Never mind. I would rather trust you than simply continue to spoil from within. Would you mind averting your eyes from... apologies for when last we met. I fainted before I could even thank you. Everything is as you said. Since inserting the needle, the scarlet rot has ceased to writhe. Even the nightmares have abated. And now, though I can scarcely believe it myself, I can move as I please. Not that I could ever truly repay, but I would like you to have this. I'm considered with the needle. My destiny. It's all thanks to you. My name is Miller.
Yeah, Dan, that's I mean, you can get one, a pretty decent one from the Beast right away if you know how to do that. If you don't, I can tell you, but that's, of course, there's some spoilers there. There's actually a couple of good early game locations to pick up a really good a solid seal. You know, I always wonder why they didn't put a bonfire in your Gowry, whatever his name is. I guess they just wanted you to fight the big dog several times.
Oh, hello again. Something about this place felt familiar to me, so I decided to pay a visit. Hoping to find someone here, but I've only found emptiness. Perhaps, before my departure, I needed someone to say farewell to. Well, I must focus on my journey. I must stay strong.
Dan, you can get a pretty solid one. If you've met D, he told you where to find the Beast Clergyman. You can meet D either in Eastern Limgrave or at the Round Table Hold. He will mark on your map a portal to the Beast Clergyman. If you feed him, I think just if you kill one undead boss, basically, and feed him one eye, he'll give you the first seal. He'll give you a seal, which is more than serviceable. And that sends you up here to the Bestial Sanctum. There's a portal. You actually don't need to talk to D to get to the Beast guy if you don't want to. There's a portal right up here. Right here, near the third church. This one here. So it's over in the water here, near the third church of Marika up here. But if you talk to D, he'll just mark it on your map with a big red spot, so you can't miss it. Alternatively, you can meet D up in the graveyard right here. Summerwater Village in Limgrave here. D will be hanging out right here. And if you go to D, he'll tell you about the Mariner here in the village. Very easy undead boss if you've got that halberd for sure. Crush that guy. He'll give you your first piece of death root. You feed this guy in the Bestial Sanctum death root. Every time you give him death root, he gives you new items. The first item he will give you is a seal. So that may be of use to you. There's another pretty good one in the catacombs early on, but I forget exactly which one that is, so I'll give you the one where I know how to get it. You're very welcome, Dan. Good name. Dan's a good name. Now, here's something that not a lot of people find, as this area is largely ignored outside of Millicent. So, I really don't think a whole lot of people have found this. Yeah, we're gonna get that very soon, Jack, actually. But I want to show people something first. People come up to this graveyard and they're like, okay, there's a dude. Kill the dude, and there's some treasure here, but really, interestingly enough, there's actually a secret wall back here. I know, wild, right? Secret walls are pretty common in the inside dungeons, but not too common out in the overworld, so this one's very easy to miss. M321, this is the area past Celia. So up near you, the church, you have to do the Celia puzzle to unlock the path up. And then you'll get the church, and then you'll go over here, and it's like behind the graveyard area. Right behind the big, it's really, you can't miss it because it's behind the big guy. Like, pretty much the only monster in the entire area. There'll be a big tombstone right behind that. Smack the wall. This place is scary. Gotta be careful here. The weather's nice, isn't it? Especially in Caelid. It gets really nice here this time of year. You can choose to fight very easily, Sean. That's correct. It's a well-known thing you can do. I think you do get a ton of souls for it. Other than that, I think it's just pretty much a standard. It's a dragon fight, you know, so you get a dragon heart, I think. Maybe a new dragon skill unlock. I know a couple of friends of mine had taught me about, they've been talking about it, how they've been cheesing it for 80k souls or something like that. There's no reason not to do it, if that's what you're asking. Oh my god. How many freaking things are in this place? I need better magic, man. You got bored with it? Yeah, somebody told me they took like... I don't know how long it takes, but it takes a while to kill it, like, right? But I guess it's a good source of early souls, I guess, for people. We don't even need the thing in here. I forget what the other item is in here that I'm trying to get. I think there's something up here, right? In the fort, maybe? I don't remember. I don't need the other half of the Dectus medallion, because it's not going to do anything for us. It just takes such obscene damage. Now we don't need that, but that's one way to get to the Atlas Plateau. I mean, there's more than one lemon. One of the late game lemons is much more important than... That's not the hidden one, Croc. That might not be the one that you need. That's the one that lets you get to Atlas Plateau. That's not the one that gets you to the other place. Underground Source Seal. Is that good? That's probably what we died for, apparently. You're probably after the other cool amulet, Croc. Is my guess. Which, you know, we will get on this playthrough, of course. Madness can be a bad thing, yeah. So this one just gets you up to here, through here. Obviously, we always like to take the side path through the mines down here. And there is, in fact, a third way to get up to Atlas Plateau as well. As ridiculous as that seems. Probably even more than 3 ways, but 3 that we know about pretty well.
Did you read the letter left for you? That is the task. You will be compensated once the deed is done. Good luck. If you are loath to hunt your own kin, so be it. But you must leave this house at once. This is a war against the Erd Tree. We have no place for the meek, nor the luxury of keeping clean hands. You've completed your task. I am pleased. Now you are a recusant true, and a full-fledged member of the Volcano Manor. This is your reward, as promised.
Ooh.
Never forget that the recusant fights to tread the path of the champion. The way is tainted, but for this very reason, it is the true path to valor. Now you are
The path of the recusant true.
So, you've blooded your sword in the hunt. Then I shall introduce myself once more. Banal. A recusant, just like you. Recusants have particular battle arts, styled to our methods of slaughter. Why not add some to your repertoire? You've come to understand now, eh? To take power and make it his
Sean,
own.
that actually does surprise me
Recusant
immensely.
must hunt
I
his
hope he
own
does finish it out. Does he like it?
to raise the
I
flag
didn't get a
of
good sense of it last time I talked to him.
sanctified pillaging.
I had a chance to see him in real life the other day, and we did talk about the game, but he was very early, so... The Volcano Manor is kind of like Mustafa. Yes, it is. It is exactly like that. It is a hit list, yeah.
Have you ever any strange sounds here at the manor? Something
Halbred?
beyond the
That's...
walls?
that's...
It just
Halbred.
isn't possible. I must be tired.
That's funny.
Sometimes I hear strange sounds like...
Well, I mean, Leaf, it is the best game of all time, so I am really glad he's enjoying it. Especially since I've tried and failed to get him into the From Software family for a really long time. So that is very good. I like that. Alright, what do we do next? So many options. So many freaking options. How do I feel about platforming? I mean, it's not the strongest aspect of the game, but it does add to the exploration elements. Yeah, Bestie, I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, the thing is, you don't get to go backward in the other direction. I don't think people are gonna play Elden Ring and then be like, oh, I want to go play Souls now. I don't think it's gonna happen that way. I don't even want to go play Souls now. I do think this game will bring a whole new, huge swath of people into the From Software, you know, ethos, if you will. I do think that will happen. I mean, they don't build that way, they don't develop that way, Sean. I think if there is a Dark Souls 4, which there won't be, that will have a jump button. I think, even though I think they're going to go back to more contained encounters, that's speculation on my part, I do think that they're going to keep the jump button in. I do think DLC will add DLC. They could do whatever they want with DLC, right? They'll probably just use this section of the map over here. And then this up here. See, it's ready-made, right? Frankly, I don't think we're ready for this, but I guess we could give it a shot. Because I like to get this segment done so that I can get Mimic. Because I hate playing without Mimic. Now that, you know, once you have Mimic, and once you have Mimic with magic, Mimic with magic sounds like it's going to be mad rigged. So I can't wait to see that. A haunted boat? I'd love to see a haunted boat area, yeah. I'm down with that. I don't think they're going to add swimming.
Thought I might find you here. I must admit, I was a little worried. We missed our meeting, but it looks like you're still in one piece, eh? You must have heard by now, right? That Starscourge Radahn holds Rani's fate in stasis. But once he's out of the way, it'll spring back into motion. So now, we stand against the demigod once known as the strongest of them all. The way ahead is pleasingly simple. We fight, sword and fang. Into the fray together, eh? Let's see what you're made of.
I'm made of a very low HP pool is what I'm made of. Hence, I don't think this fight will go well. You gotta be able to soak a hit.
Champions! Welcome!
Ah, indeed I thought I might find you here. By the by, do you know for whom this festival is being held? Well, it is none other than General Radahn himself. To think, I could face a great champion of the Shattering, a demigod in the flesh. Oh, in truth, I quiver at the thought. But the fear simply assures me the ordeal is worth undertaking. Be sure to get a good vantage, my friend. I, Iron Fist Alexander, do hereby vow to unflinchingly brave this ordeal. Be sure to get a good
It is pretty squishy, Sean, but I think it's definitely easier overall. I had to put myself in risk almost none of the time compared to my other builds. Yeah, it's yes, I do die almost instantaneously when I'm in harm's way, but it is so much easier to stay out of harm's way as a magic build than it is when you're a melee build, in which, you know, your entire goal is to be in harm's way all the time.
Are you good and prepared, young? The festival.
It has definitely been
Before
easier.
we begin, allow me to paint you the full picture.
I get some BS deaths all the time, and this fight is going to be particularly rough from a damage standpoint. But we can always come back and do it later. Bestie, heavy armor is never really that good.
General Radahn
Outside of
is
Havels.
cursed ever to wander.
Hey, Azella, what's up?
Eaten from the inside by Melania's scarlet rot, his wits are long gone. Now he gathers the corpses of
We'll never have
friends
DS1
and foes
Havel
alike,
again, Bestie.
gorging on them. Like a
Nah,
dog.
Sean, I mean, I've done a playthrough with strength. I did a playthrough with weapon arts. And dex arts.
Howling at the sky.
And this is the magic run. I got it. Magic is, it's a different playstyle, but yes, it is easier, okay? I'm just going to be honest with you.
Gathering of champions.
It's not for me, but it is definitely, like, you can really, you're like 5 rolls ahead of the opponent, basically, whereas with a melee build, you're going to be 1 roll ahead of the opponent. You know what I mean?
You will find the field of battle past General Radahn is divested of and howling.
And if you're looking for something even easier, Sean, I basically our last playthrough, it's all on YouTube. Hoarfrost Stomp is pretty much the most, is not even, actually, Hoarfrost Stomp isn't even the most OP weapon Ash you can use, but it is one of them. Yeah, Sean, hey, you know, there's plenty of room to experiment and explore. I do plan to ride the horse in this fight for sure as a caster prime. I'm not going to be able to take more than one hit, which is going to be a problem. See, the problem is I think it can kill me in one arrow, and that might be an issue. Let's run the stream raid before we get into it. And we are trying to force this pretty early, in case you haven't noticed. I like to get it done early so I can get access to Necron. High Poise and Dual Colossal Swords. That's a very different playstyle than Magic, yes. I prefer a giant hammer myself. But I was determined to do some experimental playing this time around. Because I do want to play this game like a bunch of times. We are playing this games. We are playing this a bunch of times and enjoying it. So yeah. Here's the thing, like if we get smushed by Radon here, we are willing to leave and come back later. There's no rush. A couple more points in vigor are essential for this build anyway, because we are oh so frail. I was right in back of the barrier. We were talking about this earlier. I actually think this is going to be the most replayable Souls. Because of all the very interesting sequence breaking and such you can do. I think it might be doable. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, Sean, I think you will do everything. You'll just be much more efficient at doing it. You'll know exactly where you want to go to get what you want. Prime, I am used to being in the thick of combat. I'm not used to being you know, somebody who runs around and throws rocks, okay? So it's a very different playstyle for me. It's very challenging for me to acclimate to, despite being easier overall. This spell takes like a half an hour to cast. gotta stay a little bit further away. Very wise, Erlen. You did notice I died. That was, extremely perceptive. Thank you, Erlen, for pointing that out. I didn't see that we died there. It was, I'm glad you caught that. I didn't catch it. I cannot dodge that move on the horse. Maybe we might need a little bit more help. Exactly, Pretendus One. That's the important part. I mean, hey, we've done this fight many times. It's just a pain in the butt sometimes. See, look at it. I dodged at the last second there and I still got hit. This guy's just full of crap. He is. Wait, where the heck are the summons at? No, they come back, Bestie. You can resummon them. kind of the whole point of this fight. He is an unstoppable force, but you bring an army for him. There's no way to dodge that there's no way to dodge that if he just wants to kill you. That's such a cheap move. It is, Sean. I can see it coming. So what? I can't dodge a meteor. I don't know where it's coming from. Nah, Bestie, he's fine. It's just like we're definitely being a little aggressive with our timing and everything. We could stand to wait a bit before we took him on. We have not done a whole lot in the main world, to be honest. He's sort of the definition of beast mode. And we're dead. Now, a sane person would simply stop fighting him here. Yeah, Faith has so much good stuff. You never thought I'd make excuses? It's not an excuse, it's reality. I don't think it is, Prime. It's actually taking me a lot longer than usual. I think my staff has actually run out of its usefulness. I need to find a new one that I can actually upgrade. Like, this is an unupgraded staff. words. Come on, I thought we were gonna have it though. Yeah, we're not even close to 52 int yet. We do have that spell, M321. We do not have 52 int. We're kind of small. No, it was you know. I don't know why we're trying to force this. There's about 1,000 other things we could be doing right now. Definitely. Wow. Not all of it, not a lot of it, Prime. Some of it. And that's up to the player. That's player agency, right? That's options. That's what people want. You cannot, Jader, no. I mean, that's the way it's meant to be played, frankly. He was tearing him up this time around. We're losing so much mana to getting outranged too. It's really bad. Very bad attempt. Don't believe it. It sucks. Oh, no, that's better. At least it died to that. Jay, thanks so much for the gift and sub. Appreciate that. Hey, Prime, you're a mod now. You do what you want. You do what you want. I think we should actually leave and go do something else, though. This is proven less fruitful, and I'm trying to teach people to stop doing stuff like this, so... I am very stubborn, but... this is definitely not intelligent behavior. I've never had a problem with this guy before, actually. It is very different doing this fight as a magician. Again, magic is really strong, but it's very different. It is a very different kind of reality that I live in as a mage here. But I also don't have... I don't have any... This is an unupgraded staff. We could probably be doing a lot better, and I don't know where a better staff is. So that's part of it. The damage output is very low, considering how weighted we are toward damage. I mean, Hoarfrost annihilated him, and my strength build destroyed him as well. But he's a salty one. By the way, I have no doubt that he can be easily defeated. It's just, this is a very different experience for my magery at this point. Again, we need an upgraded staff. I gotta go find out where to get one. We're still using the meteor staff. At this point in the game, we should be looking for something we can upgrade. Probably, anyway. His horse is fine, Brad. They make a note of that in one of the notes. He doesn't actually hurt the horse by riding it either. There's like some weird... There's gravitational magic in play. Dude! Complete BS. I just need a couple more vitality. He did kill me from full in a single ball. Get some cave moss. With no poise, if I get dehorsed, I'm dead instantly. I can't get back up. That's right. That's a lot of runes. That's good. That was a little early for him, I think, but we got there. Let's go. Am I right? Easy mode. Yeah. Freaking easy mode. He had bigger balls than me, but, you know, I flung my balls at him more, so, you know, it worked out. Well, you know, it's a cinematic is of a great import, Croc, as the only reason we forced this fight so early is so that we could open up something else. Kragan, you're not wrong.
Ah, good. I was waiting for you. Oh, what a sick way to fight. The glory of the clash is shared by Radahn and you. And did you see that afterwards? A falling star right before our eyes. I can't fathom how Radahn was holding back something of that scale. He was a living legend if ever I saw one. And the path has now been cleared. To Nokra, where Ranni's fate will be decided. Let's meet where the falling star bit the earth.
Let's meet where the falling star bit the earth. That took me
my
forever
God.
to find.
These freaking balls!
Mistress Ranni.
Balls!
Let's meet where the falling star bit the earth. We'll go into battle.
I spent forever trying to find where the falling star bit the earth during review. It took a while.
Hello there. It was a battle marvelously fought. You are well and truly a champion, friend. I, on the other hand, am nothing but a crock. One hit was all it took to crack me, and for my insides to come spilling out. After that, I hid like a coward. And as such, I can hardly stand to face one such as you. But don't you think I've given up just yet. As luck would have it, there's
I think the staff has outlived its usefulness.
right here.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go there, Koshi. That's a very cool hidden location. I mean, it's not really hidden, right? But not everybody checks the shoreline after a big boss. He is a croc. He's a croc of drawn butter.
Less from the very warriors who fought in the shattering, the greatest of all wars. Just you wait and see, friend. I'll grow even stronger. Just.
I don't know. I think Jarman is the new Siegfried, though. Sigward. Onion Bro is now Pot Bro. We got a big 70,000 runes here, too. Country crock butter. I love it. Actually, I'm a Brummel and Brown man myself, Detective Basil. So for those of you who don't know, there is actually something else out here in this massive land. There is a catacomb hidden in the rock wall. However, that does not interest us right now. The whole reason we forced Radon down was so that we could get my favorite summon. One that I think will be very interesting with a spell build. You know, this is kind of like a bonus catacomb, really. You found the falling star. Very congrats, Leaf. I mean, I know where it is now because I've been there a zillion times, but it is it's quite a find where the falling star bit the earth. The video actually is confusing since it doesn't really tell you. I was misled for a while. I thought it landed in Caelid. I just told you how I missed it. The sunken ships on the shore, no. Can you get to those? Can you actually get to those? Hey, maybe the DLC, right? Oh, the battle's ready to begin. Let's do that before we head down to Necron in search of something that Mistress Ronnie wants from us. Obviously, we need to get our stats ready for Ronnie time here. Oh, look at that. Lots of people dropped units. General Radon must have inspired them. Is my weapon an ice cream cone? It may as well be at this point. As you can see, the fall off. Like, this meteorite staff is super overpowered early because you don't have to upgrade it. Here's the counterpoint, though. It can't be upgraded. So, at this point, we're going to start looking for something that we can actually, like, you know, enhance. Now, my knowledge of staves in this game is about 0, so we'll grow into it. Good job. We got a blue chest battle here. It can get you skins. Skins are good. Okay, back to the game. I mean, you're not wrong, Crater. And of course, if we decide to take a different path, we will get a very interesting item from the Ronnie questline, which we are keeping going right now. Danny Phantom, the beauty of the game is, honestly, you can go wherever you'd like now. I'm sure there's a recommended path or something, but I don't think that's as interesting as just going wherever you want. But if you really want, you know, some direction, Danny, which again I advise finding your own path. But if you want some, I'd say go north in Raya Lucaria. Yeah, but that's half the fun, Salty. The dire consequences, but big rewards too. Well, that's amazing, Koshi. I'm glad you're feeling better. Danny, go north of Raya Lucaria, all the way up the river. There'll be a cave on the map there you should check out. Enjoy. Happy hunting. What? What? I bet, you know, Koshi, I bet all those Radon deaths really took care of the headache, right? It's just like, yeah, no, you can't jump here. Nope. Alright, baby steps down this corridor, right? And that's why we spent all of our freaking souls before we came here. How did I take damage for that? How did I take damage for that? Oh, sweet. Drink a mana pot. Great. Alright. Let's get to the checkpoint and never look back here. There are, however, lots of really good things down here to grab and nab. It's amazing how, you know, this place is teased throughout the other underground excursions that you'll have up until this point. And also amazing that this isn't even the only underground city, right? God, this game's so amazing. That item, but I also want to get through here to see the checkpoint. The title card came up, bestie, for the Eternal City, but I didn't actually get to go here. They did change that in the final build so that when you go down to, you know, the Riverwell, it no longer says Necron. And I didn't find it by accident. Trust me, nothing happens by accident. If I was here, if they let me go here in a controlled play session, then believe me. I mean, I had permission to talk about it, alright? It wasn't as if I was going outside of, it wasn't as like, you know, big scoop, breaking news. Here's what From Software doesn't want you to know. They were like, yeah, you can talk about going down there. I'm like, okay, alright. It's okay. Pretentious one, you can definitely talk about that. That's a-okay. Listen, the game is out for over a week now. We're still very spoiler sensitive, but you know, we're gonna give you that fine. Basically, my staff is kind of starting to suck now. Like, with the way that we've distributed our points, like, we have so much in INT that our spells should be, like, annihilating what they touch, but because it's a +0 staff, it's not really having the effect. I'm glad that everyone is so spoiler sensitive, but you don't need to worry about that at all for this one. I can't buff the staff. That's the problem, bestie. This is kind of like the Drake sword from DS. Like, you cannot upgrade it. It's very strong early on with its scaling, but it cannot be upgraded. So we will have to find a new staff to begin upgrading. We've got lots of rocks. We've got lots of upgrade rocks stashed away. I just don't know what to use them on. Yeah. Indeed. It's time to put this one out. It's time to find a new staff. Now, I have no idea where to do that. There is the staff from Renola, who we beat, but it takes 70 intelligence, 60 intelligence to use, so a little far from that. Glintstone Pebble. The old standby. I mean, there was something that took more, right? The smelter hammer and DS suit took even more than that. But yeah, there are some obscene requirements for spells and weapons in this game. Can From Software top Elden Ring? Sure. It's going to be hard. I won't lie, it will be very difficult. Hell yeah, Detective Basil. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, see, our staff is at a +0, and it's a very good staff. It has good scaling and everything. But we can't upgrade it. So it started to outlive its usefulness. $52 INT for this puppy. Why are all these spells garbage? That is my real question here. You're looking at what, Crater? I don't even know what that is. If something like Bloodborne 2 is probably just a matter of money, why do you think it hasn't happened? Because nothing is that simple, right? I mean, yes, it's going to cost a ton of money. I don't know what Sony's plans are. I don't think anyone here knows what Sony's plans are, Bestie. What if Bestie wants to take Bloodborne and have and do it internally? What if they want to have Bluepoint do it? Oh, very interesting, Crater. I'm not super knowledgeable about either of those things. Sony would love that for PS5. Yes, certainly. Do I pretend to know anything about the working relationship between Sony and From? Not at all. And you shouldn't either. Things are often much more complicated than, hey, we want a thing, give money, make happen. I mean, that does happen, but it can be a lot more complicated than that as well. That was not Socrates. That was Gordon Gekko. From Wall Street. You're actually the well. Then you know, then Crater. Then you know exactly why we don't have it yet. Greatly increases arcane to the detriment of physical attack power. I mean, arcane doesn't really do anything for me, but now that it's physical attack power, so. Wait, this mask gives int? Wow. Cool. I mean, yeah, you know why that boss got wrecked? That boss was me. That was the mimic boss. So, yeah, it went down pretty quick. Just making sure we got enough shards. No, Bestie, as far as I know, no PvP boss. I looked everywhere. If there is one and it doesn't exist yet, guess what? They put it in the DLC for Dark Souls 3. I bet that's where they'll put it here. They seem to like to do PvP stuff with their expansion and DLC content. Best area to farm, Stanley S. Thomas. I wrote a guide on that. It is without a doubt the best area to farm. I can post it in chat here. Hundreds of thousands of runes in minutes. If you find yourself in need of such a thing. It is a late game farming spot though, although you can get there. Again, it all depends on how much rule breaking you want to do to get there. Let me pop it up real quick here. Basil, I'm going to post it, okay? I mean, I wrote a guide on it, so I wouldn't have to explain it every time. It is on GI, yeah. So it's a little farther than Liurnia Lakes, by the way. Much farther than that. I actually think this game is really smart because it doesn't encourage souls farming at all until, you know, the end-to-end game when you're getting marginal returns anyway. They've done a really smart thing in this game and not encourage souls farming because the farming is organic, if you will. The best thing you can do at any given point is to explore. You'll get a boss, which is going to drop a bunch of souls and whatever other loot is involved. Hey Dan, do I need what's in the chest in the Ray Lucaria Grand Library to get to the Rune Tower for Renala? No, you do not, Big Boss. That chest is part of a very elaborate quest line. One that we're on, actually, and we're going to be doing in this playthrough. But no, you do not need that. However, to get up to her Grand Rune, you will need some other things. In fact, you'll need the item that we're getting now. You'll need to be on Ronnie's quest line, and you'll need to get the reward she gives you for bringing back the dagger that we're currently seeking. Oh, for crap. No, it's not as easy as Godric's. However, many of the other bosses are as easy as Godric's. You don't need to get everybody's Great Rune, by the way. Godric's is really good. You know what? If you haven't noticed, we have no Great Rune on this playthrough yet. Because I've deliberately not killed Godric. Very intentionally. To show that you never need to kill Godric or Margit. If you don't want to. Godric is still out there. I bet I could go put purple rocks in his mouth right now. It would be really embarrassing for him, but... yeah, Godric is waiting. We'll get to him eventually. We're saving him. You can, Big Boss, yeah. Theoretically. Well, you can get to the capital with 2 runes. I'm not going to go any further than that for spoiler reasons, but... You're going to have to get another rune along the way, but that's a critical path one. But those would be the only runes you need. I do have Radahn's. You don't need a Radahn's rune to beat the game. And I don't have his Great Rune. I just have his rune. We have not gone to the tower. We should do that. And this, my friends, not only did we have to go this way to get to get our quest item, but this is without a doubt my favorite summon in the game. And I think the strongest. The cross swords games. No, I don't know what those are. Tell me. This summon is lit AF. And I bet on a caster it probably has unlimited mana. What are the cross swords games? Am I fighting a rock? I was fighting a ball. You see, it wasn't really a ball, Big Boss. These are all mimics here. They have the ability to take on the appearance and mannerisms of anything, right? One of the interesting things they can do down here in the Eternal City is take on the shape or image of other things around them. This is a little bit more stylish than what I was wearing. Soon, we're coming up to the real reason we came down here, of course, was in service of Mistress Ronnie. Ronnie has a long quest line. We figured it out completely last time. We're definitely doing it again this time. Well, we don't have to take her ending, though, even if we do her quest chain, so... As you can see, the mimics can turn into different things. But this is what we came for right here. Wow, there's a great ghost sword in there too, but there's also the blade. Okay, so this is an important item. Basically, Ronnie is up to no good, as are so many other characters in this game. And it's up to the player if they want to side with Ronnie's designs for the world. You know, what she wants for the Lands Between and the Erd Tree and all that jazz. And what she wants is an Age of Stars, which is... I mean, depending on you look at it, I mean, can be a pretty depressing ending to select. Or it could be a freeing one, depending on your view. Is there anyone actually good in this game? Yeah, I think Potman is good. Perpy Meteor. Yeah, that's what we've been throwing around. And we will be throwing around more of them. Thanks for the follow.
Ah, it was thee, not Blithe it seemeth. Even in my slumber I sensed it. It is in thy possession, is it not? The hidden treasure of Nokron. My thanks. Finally all the pieces are in place. Soon must I begin my journey. Upon the dark path only I may tread. Ah, but before I leave...
Alright, folks.
I
I know a lot of people are asking about how to get to Renala's rune. You'll need this.
My thanks for thy sterling efforts. A strange gift, perhaps. But a rare sort such as thee would welcome it, I am certain now.
What it does, so you don't waste any more time in the Carrion study, is it flips it upside down.
Torrent too for his part. It was but brief. But thou gavest me fine service. What is it? You may go. I too am to depart on a journey. What
Now,
is it?
the chain is not done, but that part of the chain is done. So you can do that to get the rune no matter what, whether or not you want to continue it or not. Hey, EG and Blythe are quite cool, yeah. What up? We're big fans. We are definitely on Team Ronnie. MK Saint, great to see you. And yes, I completely understand. A lot of people have taken a hiatus from the stream to go play Elden Ring, which I certainly can't fault them for. High Tech, that's correct. It is not Yennefer. This game is huge? Yes, Stanley. Yes, it is. It is, in fact, absolutely gargantuan. And there's so much to it. You're curious to hear my thoughts about what? Yeah, Koshi, that does happen. I've had that happen as well. Do I think they will spend 3 to 4 years making a game of Elden Ring size for future ARPGs? No, I do not. I'd love it if they did, but I don't think they're going to. But based on reception and sales, maybe. I do not feel like they will want to continue it because of the huge time investment. I do think we'll get a couple of great DLCs. I mean, Bestie, you're right. Again, that has to be taken into consideration. I can only tell you, this is really important. This is, a lot of people miss this. But that miniature Ranny is very important to continuing the quest line. And it took me forever to figure out that you have to, like, talk to the miniature Ranny here at these checkpoints. Yes, rats do drop rune arcs. I think there will be more DLC multiplayer components in the DLC, as they have shown in the past to be very interested in doing. Sure, hey, you know, despite their pretty serious sales, Souls games have been considered niche depending on who you talk to. I don't think that will be the case after Elden Ring, after we see the effects of Elden Ring at the end of the day. Hey, Zellars, I hope you're having a good time with the game. Of course. And yeah, runes do drop off rats. By the way, we still don't have a rune. We've deliberately not done any runes. Because we don't give an F, alright? mean, Zellers, that boss isn't even like half as cool as some of the bosses that are later. How do none of these gowns have any freaking bonuses to them? Wait, what did we just get? This isn't the right one, right? Which is the one we just got? Yeah, this isn't it. Main? No. Main? Might be this one. Yeah.
Oh, a dogged fellow, aren't we? Or is it merely thy habit to talk to dolls? Fine. Fine. I hadn't expected any soul to recognize me in this guise. But now the cat is out the bag. I cannot allow thee thy freedoms. Perform for me a service as recompense. Eliminate the baleful shadows which prowl these lands. The name of Rani the Witch is already sullied by thee. I will not brook disobedience in this matter. Perform for eliminate the name of I will not.
Okay, you have to trigger that, really, to get the next big segment. Oh, let's do the stream raid. And we'll put another half an hour on the Barbie here. I should probably go upgrade the Mimic tier, though, if we're going to use it. No, you cannot upgrade talismans, Leaf. No. No. No, 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 no. But you can find +1 versions. They're just like rings. You cannot upgrade them, but you can find +1s. When I said we're going to go upgrade my Mimic, I mean the summon. You know the one we just got? The one that we took on Radon. Basically we beat Radon so we could do that. I mean, Zillers, this is a magic build, okay? It's very not me, and I think the Mimic will be a lot of fun with it. There are other really, really good high-end summons as well. But I think the Mimic tier is really, really strong. Especially since it uses all the items that that you can use. Now, there's other really good named summons, though, that have, like, a huge amount of things. Prime Game. Prime Game. Dan Tree. Dr. Mojo, hey, what's up? They call him the Doctor. That's not going to be nearly enough souls. Mitsuo, I would love a pizza.
Greetings. Are you here for
With
spiritual?
pickles. Pepperoni. Pizza is definitely not keto friendly.
Greetings. Are you here for spirit?
What are the crying things for? Prime, you're gonna have to help me here. I don't know what you mean. The crying things. Go to inventory. Oh, you mean the prattling pate things. Those are from multiplayer. They let you say things to people. Here, watch. They let you voice chat. Watch. You can set them up to a hotkey in the pouch so you can use them quicker. So yeah, they're just for fun. There's a bunch of those you can find too with different things to say. No, you're a hotkey. This is a different one, Craig, and there is one that's higher that you have to kill in a different area. Oh my goodness, we have a big statement there from the doctor. Get off me. What the hell? One hit, man. Being a mage is weird. Dr. Mojo, you just summed it up, yes. This game is incredible. I am also really happy to see that, Koshi, no doubt. I hope that they put out Bloodborne at 60 on PS5 and PC 2 months after release of this game, right? That would be perfect. That way, everybody who's still hot and heavy and wants to try a different From Software experience can have the second best one the way it's meant to be played. Hey, I'm not saying that we were going to see it, Craig, and I'm saying that that's what they should do, all right? I don't know how that guy can hit me all the way over here. And yes, this game channels adventure like no other. Oh, well, that's madness. Oh, I see. Well, let's walk into it to get that key. Ooh, boy. That was really dumb of me. Yeah, you know, a question for me, Prime, really. By all means, let's hear it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually have an answer to that. I've had several dragons run away on me, too. wait, you know what? I should have gotten Ronnie's set. There was a chest in that chambers that I didn't open. I remember I pick it up every time. We could probably wear that. She's a mage. We gotta go back and get that. Obviously, it's very fashionable too, so even if it's not an upgrade. Yeah, we're not actually going towards the Twin Gargoyles right now. They're in another direction. Oh, God. I'm so frail. Why is the Queen Helm good? Dr. Mojo, that depends on what you mean finish. There is more to be found down in the depths. There's more stuff past Aster, if you're on the Ronnie line, and the gargoyles, while the end of that particular area, there is a deeper segment that has a boss bigger than the gargoyles, a more important story boss. Down real deep. Real deep. It had good int, did it? Really? The Renala stuff has int on it? That would be mad spoilers, Dr. Mojo, but just look it up. Look up Darkroot Depths. I don't want to tell you how to get there right here. We still have people who have not gone there and want to find it. Prime, we've been doing Ronnie's questline on this very stream. I'm gonna lose int for using this, and it strengthens cold sorcery, of which we have none. Oh my god. Whatever, style counts for more. I did. I went and looked at it earlier. It didn't say that it gave any intelligence benefit or anything. Who's Ronnie? Yeah, fashion is more important. We'll take the hint. We'll take the hit. We'll lose a couple int points to put on this hat, you know? I don't care. Fashion more important. Are you telling me that the Renala set gives int? If so, we need to get all of that then. We're 10 to 12 levels away from using the comet spell we found. Well, hey man, this set busts my cold magic. Actually, if I could find some cold magic, we'd be in business. Who the hell drops cold magic? I forget. I found a bunch of cold spells on our last play. Right? And I just picked them up and threw them out. They were toilet paper. But they'd be pretty freaking handy right about meow. I don't don't really want to run through here because there's lots of great loot, but any one of those hits, if they touch me, they are completely lethal. All the ant has to do is squirt on me. A lot of GI folks playing as well. I know we have some. I know we had Jay play because he'd never played a Souls games before, never played a From game, to get a second opinion. I know Alex Van Aken is playing a ton. I believe Blake is playing quite a bit. I'll try to do a follow-up with everybody to see where they're at. I know they're playing. I don't know how they're playing. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure everyone has given it a shot. I know AVA is pretty far. I don't really know how anyone else is doing on progress. There are no spiders. That's correct. I am guessing that those big hands are a tribute to the Wallmaster. Yeah, I tried to write guides that would be very useful for you, Prime, specifically. Dr. Mojo, enjoy. There's a lot down there. There's a hidden boss involving Fia's quest chain, but I'm not going to say any more than that. That guide has the name in the title, Prime, so look up How to Find Millennia. We are on Ronnie's quest right now. Yeah, Dr. Mojo, we are doing it. Basically, we think Ronnie's super cool. Also, if anybody knows where we can get some good frosty magic, that would be sweet. Or really any frosty magic. Ronnie is my second waifu in this game. I mean, she's the only one you can actually marry, so technically, I guess that's... You trust Ronnie the Witch? After what she's told you? I mean, that's interesting. Ronnie's plans for the world are, I'd say, less than ideal for people. She is very upfront about it, yes. I don't... Listen. I think it's a lot to assume that From is going to spend all of the resources and time that they spent on this project for their other projects. I'm not saying they're not. This is going to be their most successful game by a lot, right? And with good reason. But I think it's way too early to say they're going to make all their games open world, this is a new paradigm, etc., etc. Way too soon to say that, I think. Especially since they work with so many different publishers, right? Is it Miyazaki's pinnacle? I don't think so. It might be. It might turn out to be that, yeah. Could happen. I mean, let's be honest, folks. This is going to be a very difficult game to top. Dark Souls 4? There's no more Dark Souls. Well, Miyazaki retired. Dude, Miyazaki's like my age. He's not retiring anytime soon. What do you do with the doll? Prime, you talk to it. At a rest point. Down there in the river. In the river. Came for us. Dark Souls is Dunskies, folks. Like, they called it done on Dark Souls. That doesn't mean they're going to stop making dark fantasy games. They will definitely keep doing that. You're too kind, Pretend Swing. Too kind. Nah, DBZ, we haven't really done doing any co-op. We'll have a co-op playthrough too. Right now we're doing like
Let us speak of the past a while. I was once an Imperial of the demigods. Only I, Nicola, and Melania could claim that title. Each of us was chosen by our own two fingers as a candidate to succeed Queen Marika.
Good night, Mariana. Have a wonderful night. I do not think we're going to get another Sekiro ever. No. But what do I know? I don't work at From.
But I would not acquiesce to the two fingers. I stole the rune of death, slew mine own Imperial flesh. I would not be controlled by that thing. The two fingers and I have been cursing each other ever since, and the baleful shadows are their assassin. Even when I turned my back on
You know,
the two
Sekiro was
fingers,
supposed to be a Tenchu game.
Blythe remained my loyal ally. Though he was created a vassal for an Aryan, he was a colossal failure on the part of the two fingers. Blythe and E.G. both. Art willing to give too much to me, yet they both understand what lieth beyond the dark path, that I must betray everything and rid the world of what came before. Now, should I add thee to the list? Another one. Kind of heart. As kind of heart as they. This form hath loosened my tongue. I've let slip too much. Forget what thou'st heard. Forget. I've let forget what thou'st heard.
Now, if you've talked to this doll and are at the part of the chain where we're at, we have this fight with the shadow here, which is a pretty intense one. And I won't get to use summons either, which is going to make this pretty challenging for our current loadout. I may want to go back and purchase the Renala set, apparently. If that does actually give int, we might be able to use Comet. Rock. Well, I mean, we're wearing a set right now that enhances our frost magic. We're not using any frost magic. This is it. Dr. Mojo, this is the part where you kill the Baleful Shadow. We're literally doing it right now. In real time.
Beautifully fought. My thanks. 'Twas more of a challenge than I envisioned. Now I can finally stand before them. This is farewell, my dear. Tell Blythe.
Well, it is. It's going to continue after this. So we get the key. I know a lot of you have been asking about what opens the chest in the library. That's the key. And that is going to give us a very important item. That we will not be able to use until after we conquer Estelle down here. I would like to see this dinosaur after the stream. So everyone always wonders how to open this chest. That's how. You need that key. And this gives you the Dark Moon Ring. I mean, you can figure the rest out. With this ring, you can get past this next big boss. Yeah, question. I love questions. Leaf, I love freaking questions. I know you know that about me. Alright, we need to change our spec out for this lake part. I've heard of Randy the Witch, yes. No mana, only health, because we've got a long walk to go through this ghoulish lake. Where's Blythe? You don't need to worry about finding Blythe. I know that you can meet him. It is not necessary, however, to complete the quest. Like, we're doing the whole chain right here. Like, with Blythe? Blythe's cool. We like Blythe. He's a cool character. And as it has already been stated, he might be one of the only, like, you know, quote-unquote good guys in this game. And by the way, there's a lot of really good treasure in this lake. Maybe even some magic that we should come back and get. Maybe a staff? I think I remember finding a staff in here. But this place is, you know, horrible on the... How am I beating back the rot? I'm not. I'm dying. I'm potioning through the area like you're supposed to. I went full health flasks, okay? Best way to get through area, full health flask and run. Obviously, later on, we're going to go back and try to find some stuff in that lake. I think there's probably some caster items, too. Now we're going to take our flasks back. I feel like we're using too many Crimson Flasks, TBH. I mean, too many Blue Flasks, but whatever. Did I beat the soldier in the river? I did. First run, I thought that soldier had the second half of the Halig Tree amulet because he was involved in rot. So it took me forever to kill that stupid guy. I was spending a lot of time trying to find the second half of the Halig Tree medallion, and I thought he might have it because he was in a rat lake. Spoiler alert, he didn't have it. I think he dropped some dumb sword. I was so pissed. I wasn't pissed. I was just like, man, I'm really disappointed. There's no bank for your runes? Yeah, sadly enough, no bank for the runes. So much for just running up and grabbing the treasure, huh? Freaking mages. Where's my invisibility magic? Dr. Mojo, a lot of this game was influenced by DS2. I don't know if you know that. Like, there's DS2 influences everywhere here. I am very happy that some of the talent behind DS2 will finally get recognized for this game. I mean, yeah, mages. I'm basically wearing paper, DBZ Mike. If I get hit, I'm going down. Which really sucks against these guys. I am a glass cannon, but we're working on that. You have to realize we have not upgraded our gear since the beginning of the game. We are literally fashion soulsing right now. This armor I'm wearing is not functional in any way. It buffs my frost magic. I don't have any frost magic. We're also rolling around with a +0 staff. +0. Spoiler alert, we're pretty far into the game. +0 is not gonna cut it. All this coffin stuff, that's mad DS2. I don't think my Mimic is big enough to do this yet. We're not big enough to do this fight yet, frankly. I don't know why the hell we're here now. Well, DBZ Mike, it's honestly like it's Magery doing it, not me. I don't have the skills to play. Mage skill is like way different than what my wheelhouse, right? I try to stay safe and shoot rocks, which frankly I have been finding much easier, but it's got its own different risk-reward ratios. I don't think Radon would have taken me so many tries on a melee class. We have, Jay, we have done Rhea Lucaria. I'm gonna run the stream raid, and then we'll put a dirty 30 up on there. Thanks for dropping units, everybody. We are not using the Ice Stomp, that's correct. We already had the Ice Stomp run. This is a traditional int mage run. If you want to see the Ice Stomp run, it's on YouTube. And it's disgusting. That thing is like layer after layer of chunked cheddar cheese. And by the way, Ice Stomp is not even the most broken weapon Ash. There's a ton of great ones. From who? I don't need the best staff. I just need a good staff. Wait, where can I get the best staff? Please give staff. Nice job on the raid. Let's do another one. You love to see it. People dropping units. Wait, revival location? How did I die? What? I'm sorry, I don't... Did I have Scarlet Rot or something? What the hell killed me? We didn't go into the room. What the hell? Strange. Jay, I'm not sure. The guy, isn't the person who wanted the Academy key dead? I only have +4 ashes. Oh my god. Good night, Azelle. Have a great night. Alright, so summoning the Mimic takes all my health. Of which I don't even have much, you know what I'm saying? Did you like that? Did you like that? I'm glad you liked it. Alright, thank you. This might be complicated as a mage. Killed my Mimic Tier. He freaking killed my... Okay, we're gonna need some extra juice on this guy. My stuff just doesn't do enough damage anymore to warrant the glass cannon. I'm not a cannon, I'm just glass. I found his corpse. Tell me more. Pretty sure I found his corpse. That's where the key is, right? Maybe I'm missing something. I have that. I think I have the Academy Glintstone staff. Okay. I think we need to upgrade the Mimic so it has some survivability. That was decently close, yeah. Definitely not bacon. I didn't find that to be the case at all. The optional endgame content should be very difficult. It should not be... The game should be completable, I agree, but optional stuff is designed to be super challenging, and that's good. Not a good start. I didn't find the endgame too difficult. It was tuned harder. It's the endgame. We just don't hit this guy hard enough. Dr. Mojo, the bosses are programmed to get different abilities and stuff at about 50% health most of the time. It's called a phase change, and it's not always apparent, but it usually happens. That move gets me every time. That's a problem. Also, my Mimic doesn't seem to be doing anything. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all, Bacon. This game is just new. People are freaking out about nothing. Endgame should be harder, right? IMO. So my mimic mage is not really operating like I thought it was going to. Oh god, I didn't get my ashes back, did I? Oh no. I needed those. I don't know. Whatever Bacon's talking about. I don't know. I'm assuming some of the endgame boss battles. Largely the optional ones, and probably the final battle. Alright, we're not going to waste too much time on this right now. We've got to start figuring out a different plan for our casting future here. Could have have sworn I dodged that one. I mean, yeah, there are harder bosses at the end game. If you beat Melania, that's the hardest boss in the game, Dr. Mojo. For sure. My Mimic likes to just stand there. I don't know what it's doing. It's trying to melee with the staff. This is a major problem. My dream of having a caster Mimic is quickly falling here. We'll see. Maybe we can train it. Actually, we'll just give it a Moonlight Greatsword, right? That'll do it. However, then we won't be able to cast, right? Or will we? I don't know. It is a good distraction, DBZ. You're not wrong. The purple magic, Danny, that we're using was found right next to this meteor staff. I don't know much about magic, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. This spell was found in the swamp in Caelid, along with the staff. The Caelid Swamp's the Streets of Sage's Ruin or something like that. You can find the staff and the spell. And that blue magic is actually really good in a lot of situations, frankly.
Greetings. Are you here for spirit?
Alright, we need to find a Ghost Glovewort 5, which is way lower than all the stuff we've got. We've got a 6, we've got a 7, we've got an 8, we've got a top tier. We need to find a 5. No idea where we're going to find that. I have 80,000 souls on me I don't want to lose. But I don't want to put points in until we find out what the Darkmoon Greatsword takes. Celestial Dew is for Absolution Prime. You don't need it. Have you killed any merchants? Pissed off NPCs you don't want to? Then yeah, you take it to the church with the turtle. And you can be forgiven of your sins there. He is, you know, people were asking who the good characters in this game are. The turtle is a good guy, I think. Now, we will be accosted by a dragon here, which we're not going to try to fight because I got 80,000 runes on me. There is a great number of Starlight Shards here, which are awesome. And will make our lives a lot easier. These are pretty much the hottest consumables on the block for a mage. Hey, Bestie, you have a wonderful night. Thanks for coming. We're wrapping things up in 13. But, you know, first we got to get married. Hey, nice outfit.
So it was thee who would become my lord. Perhaps I needn't have warned thee. I am pleased, however. Thou art a fitting choice. I go now to the night sky. It is there I shall find mine order. I bid thee travel the path of the Lord, and once all is done, we shall see each other once more.
"16 strength. You know? We could do that. We need to find a ghost glovewort +5. I mean, how do we pass up using the Darkmoon Greatsword, right? Like, if there's any, you know, the From Software item. We just need 2 more points of strength to one-hand it. I think I have the Academy staff, yeah. The Academy Glintstone staff? Is this thing good? It doesn't look good.
Those eyes tell a story of a challenger who's felled his mark. Find them well. Now lay out your arms.
Well, can we upgrade the Glintstone staff? I don't see it here. Here we go. Yeah, I guess we can upgrade it. I mean, it only requires regular smithing stones, so I don't care about that. We need a couple more smithing stones. But yes, it looks like it's already better at plus 13. At least getting there. It's like really close to the meteorite staff. We need to find some crappy smithing stones. Oh.
Back already, no matter.
Wait. Does that just charge it up? Can I not shoot it? Oh, hell yeah. It doesn't look like it stays charged up forever, though. You gotta feed it. I mean, it's the freaking Moonlight Greatsword. Of course it wrecks, Jay. Frozen Lightning Spear. Wait. Are you telling me I just had to come here to get some frozen magic? Oh my lord. It does take quite a bit of endurance, yes. And a lot of magic to power it up in the first place. And also the Mimic doesn't seem to be able to know how to use it either. In fact, my poor Mimic seems really bad in this build. I guess better for the Unga Bunga builds. Which is kind of sad. My whole plan was for the Mimic to cast OP magic, right? Oh. The frozen magic has faith? Of course it does. Alright. Do we have time for anything else? Doesn't look like it. Big Boss, if you follow the chain all the way to the end, that's what we just did. If you do serve her and you complete her chain, you get a different ending. If you opt into the ending at the end. Now, that'll be up to you. But if you complete her chain, we just did the chain. Gandalf. But yes, she is tied to a different ending. If you get it. Wait, I'm pretty sure we actually did it. Man. Silly, let's do this one. You spent hours trying to beat a boss for someone I can't even use. Yeah, that's And how do you feel, Virginia? One pretty good, right? You beat the boss at least. know, pretend this one. Sometimes the struggle is part of the experience. I mean, you watch me get my butt kicked by Radon for half an hour tonight. I bet you got a lot of runes. Didn't ya? Not the point? What's the point? The point is, Pretendus 1, you're going to come out stronger for it, and enjoy the rest of the game. That's the point. I know the battle's ready. We're gonna get to it in just a second here. I gotta get to a checkpoint, okay? You heard of those? Kind of some precarious suits and ladders here over here. We're almost ready for that battle, which is the final battle of the night. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I hope you had a great time. I know I did. I'm not bleeding. You're bleeding. I'm manifesting the power of Ronnie the Witch, see? Got the sweet frost magic, Ronnie the Witch armor. It doesn't do anything for me, but it looks cool. Alright. We're gonna pick up here tomorrow, fam. Well, you know what? We completely forgot about Final Fantasy VI. I was gonna switch at 8 o'clock, but I didn't. So that's my bad. But hey, the magic run continues. I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you all for coming. If it wasn't Sunday, Pretendus 1, I'd say yes. But it is Sunday. It's a school night. Yeah, Big Boss, I did. I forgot. No, it really was. We are playing... I promised we were going to play through all of Final Fantasy. We're doing it. It is happening, okay? The battle is ready, okay? Alright, folks. Let's see. Let's find somebody playing Elden Ring. You know, there's no, like, D-Squad out playing Elden Ring right now. I don't know why. In fact, there's no D-Squad at all. I guess we'll expand our horizons. Have a wonderful evening, everybody, and I'll catch you tomorrow night. Thanks so much for coming, as always. And we will catch you tomorrow evening, as we continue. Will it be Final Fantasy? Will it be Elden Ring? I don't know, but I do know we're completing Final Fantasy. And yes, there is a Big DVD update this week too. So we'll try to work in a couple of games of that sometime later this week for Ringu. But obviously, you know, first priorities, Final Fantasy VI and the Magic Run. Thank you, everybody, for coming as always. You're the best. Thanks for supporting the stream. See you on Discord. And, you know, take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful night. Catch you next time, fam. Pretend this one, it's gonna be okay, all right? I'm sorry you took 2 hours on that one boss. It's no big deal. Builds character. You're gonna be a hardened warrior going into the next fight.